Hi everybody, this is Mike Gerdes from the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living and Wonder Dog Yoga, bringing you another love note. Got a question for you. What motivates you? Seriously, what motivates you? Do you have some great aspiration or some great dream? Do you want to try to get ahead of the next guy or the next gal? Do you want to build an empire? You want to take care of your kids, and that's what's motivating you? Are you trying to be better than you are? Are you trying to get good enough for God? Are you afraid of what's going to happen if people really find out that you're not good enough? You know, there's a lot of things that will motivate us. Some of these things are positive, and some of these things aren't so. Unfortunately, many of us find ourselves and find our lives ruled by fear. We're afraid what will happen if we don't do well on a job. We're afraid of ridicule or whatever. Sometimes we don't even know what we're afraid of, but we got this fear that we have to do well, that we have to succeed. And because of that, sometimes we fail before we start. We fail by not even trying. We fail by not accepting an idea that's really ours, but we're not accepting it. What would you, there's a saying goes, a song rather, that says, what would you do today if you were brave? Well, God, it's a good question. If you could realize anything you wanted to realize today, despite any condition or situation or circumstance, what would that be? Now let's kind of fold that in with what is so-called practical. I mean to say, if you're a 71-year-old man, I'm not going to come up with an idea thinking that I'm going to be playing quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Not even for the Eagles. So what do I mean? I can realize anything that I can embody within my consciousness. I can, but it has to pass the rolling eyes test. It has to be something that is reasonable. It's not reasonable for me to go outside and jump to the moon without some kind of preparation or some kind of help. So what is it, though, that you really want to experience? What is it that's driving you? What is it that life is singing or wants to sing through you? It's said that our yesterdays, no matter how good they are not good enough for today. Now, the first time I heard that, I was at Asilomar in Merrill Hall, listening to Dr. Robert Bitzer, who I like to think was my spiritual grandfather because he taught my teacher. A great man. And it's really true. Here's a guy that he was a physician before he became an airline an Army air fighter pilot in World War I. And then went on to start the Hollywood Church of Religious Science and be one of the greats. But despite all of his accomplishments, I remember him saying, all of my yesterdays are not good enough for my today. Well, take a look at your yesterdays. I know some of us might be reaching an age where we're looking back, wishing for the good old days. Baloney. There's no day that's as good as this day. There's no days that are as good as those that you were about to make for yourself. Now stop waiting for somebody outside of yourself to make this happen. You make this happen. Christ life, God, mind, divine spirit within you makes this happen. So let's don't run our lives based on fear. Let's run our lives based on knowing that something good, something greater good, is coming forth by means of us. Think about the people that you can help today. Maybe it's a neighbor. Maybe it's volunteering at a center. Maybe it's helping to feed the homeless. Maybe it's passing out COVID masks. I don't know. But the point of it is, we all have some good that we can bring to society. And no matter how small it is or how grand it is, as long as we do it with great amounts of love, we're doing the right thing. We're doing a grand and glorious thing. So I invite you to do grand and glorious things by doing everything you approach with love in your heart and a song on your lips, because right where you are, Spirit is, and all is well. What would you do today if you were brave? Because folks, you are, and so it is.